friends, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frank Miles. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. When I come to the 50th anniversary celebration, can I speak first? Because I think everything that's been said tonight has been true and it's been going through my mind as well. But I don't need notes to recall the wonderful era that 25 years brought. It wasn't only a football team, it became a way of life. I can remember being on holiday and people used to sat around the pool or on the beach and they said, "Where do you come from?" "Hereford." "Oh, Hereford United." And that was very true because they made a lot of impact in the sporting world. And it wasn't only as footballers, but the quality of the men themselves. You could take them anywhere. I tried to many times. They always found their way back. But no, wonderful times, wonderful scenes. It went through to the hospitals, it went through to people who never watched a football match in their life probably before. And they still remember it. And I was very proud to be chairman of the football club at that time. You could go on, couldn't you, and say this and say that. I can remember when I started as a director, a young director, my first meeting was in a caravan behind the one goal, because we couldn't afford to finish the stand. And I even became a councillor, I cheated. And that's unusual for me. I got into council specifically to persuade them because we owed the council £15,000 and naturally we couldn't pay it. And they wrote it off after a lot of persuasion from me. I got on the right committee and I wormed my way into their ways and they eventually wrote it off. And then we started off, I can remember small things like Dudley Tyler used to travel to a match on the back of a motorbike. This is true, a lift from a friend. And one match he was late and he was such an important player to us, we didn't go on the sub or whatever. And in the end I went and bought him a car and it cost £150. It was done up, sprayed, and the inside was done. And when we gave it to Dudley, it was just like giving him a Rolls Royce. I can remember he told me that he took his family out for the ride the following Sunday in that. That's the sort of club we were. Not big things, but small things which meant big things. I can remember that we got to hear my Vice Chairman Arthur Bush over there, who's 86 by the way. A marvellous man and a marvellous Vice Chairman, because I could go on holiday or away and know that the club has been left in safe and good hands. Thank you, Arthur, for that. And we heard of this young centre forward who was playing for Hereford United at the time, who wanted to break into management. His name was Colin Addison. So I rang the manager of Hereford United, John Harris, who was a very dour sort of character. And he wanted an exorbitant amount of money, £9,000, to sign Colin in those days. If he'd have asked for £9, we'd been struggling in those days. But after a lot of persuasion, we reduced him down to £3,000. And I think that's one of the best. That's one of the best signings this club's ever made. Yeah. Colin's strength was the motivation of players. He would make a good player into a very good player. He would make a very good player into a great player. And this is what he did to our club. He professionalised us and the results spoke for themselves. He got us in the Football League. And the fairy tale carried on from there. But going back to the Giantkillers Act, I was so proud to be here tonight and see all these lovely young men again. They haven't changed a bit. I still tell lies. Mick McLaughlin, I don't agree about your hair being that colour. He He did try and persuade me before the meeting, actually, before the dinner, actually, and I didn't believe him then. But you can tell who is a past chairman and the existing chairman with our hairstyles. Because we both had a lot of hair at one time, didn't we? But there we are. Wonderful days, never to be forgotten. It made me so proud to be associated with the Giantkillers and the club itself, and I shall never forget those days. And I'm sure that anybody who was associated with the club or saw the game would always think that as well. I've got a double mission here tonight because I have to recall absent friends. And I was told not to mention any names, but I'm going to because I don't have been told what to say. I'm just going to mention a few, and that is Ted Wood, who gave the club. And I'm so glad to see his widow Pat here tonight as well. And poor Barry Griffiths. Poor Barry Griffiths, who was his best friend and certainly a very good friend to our club. He worked hand in hand with Ted to organise our entry into Football League. I thank them for that. And all the other people who worked so hard for the club, I thank them too. Only some of us can get their faces in the paper we talked about, but there are a lot of work done by nameless people. But they have the joy and the will to work terracing, cementing, terracing, raising money, and I always admire that sort of thing, and I will always thank them for it. Ladies and gentlemen, the toast is the Giantkillers and absent friends. Will you stand with me? Giantkillers, absent friends. Thank you very much.